Welcome back to a video. Today talking about the Bugatti Boldie. Now, the Bugatti Boldie, it's Bugatti's, let's say, newest concept car to its various of concept cars. You have the Devo, that's all I can think of at the moment. I'm sure there's more. The only one that comes to my mind first is the Devo. It's probably the most famous one that's concept and has been kind of manufactured. But let's dive into the video. We're going to start it off with the wheels, or you could say rims, alloys, whatever you want to call these bits here. Now, the car is very aerodynamic, very downforce based. Of course, this is a track car. It's not your usual daily driver hypercar. Even if you would daily drive a hypercar, I don't think you would. Anyways, let's talk about the wheels. Alloys, they're very aerodynamic. You can see they're quite plush, which I don't understand why they're so far out. I don't know, maybe it's to help airflow in there. No idea, but they're very aerodynamic. And they look a bit like they're based off the Speedtail ones. Because we pull up here and you can see the Speedtail with this very orange curse and this beautiful photo of the Speedtail. You can see that there's a little bit of aerodynamics here going on to help the car. But we go back, this is on them on both. On the other side, this only has them on one. And not the rear. Only in the front. Which is very weird. I don't know why they've done that. Probably aerodynamics yet again. McLaren, they're a little bit more quiet about how they make cars. They're not like Ferrari, Lamborghini. They don't tell you the hidden features as much as they would. But McLaren, what McLaren are good at, to be fair to them, it is a cool car. The McLaren Speedtail is a cool car. But we're not going to talk about it today. Because we're going to talk about Bugatti's new Boldie. Now, if you were to choose the Boldie or the Speedtail. Boldie or Speedtail. Now first, from this photo, the photo looks better than this one. I'll admit it does. But this looks boring. It looks too sleekish. It looks too Tesla. It just looks boring. It looks like an electric car, even though it's just a fossil fuel car. I don't know. They could have done some little cool features here and there with it. It looks boring. Well, it just speaks for itself. Yet again, massive intakes, small intakes, massive front lip, weird McLaren front lip. But you see what I mean? And one thing this car beats every single car on is its roof scoop. What is this? That roof scoop is insane. It's like, the engine ones you see on Dodge Demons, Hellcats, so on and so forth. They've just yoinked it on the roof and been like, yeah, that looks beautiful, boys. Well, McLaren, they haven't done one. I know some McLarens, I have seen a Speedtail with one, or it was a P1 GTR with one, but I do know that they do use roof scoops on some of their cars. But apparently not on this car. Don't know why. Apparently it's the most aerodynamic car ever. It's not. I don't like the McLaren that much. I don't like it. Like the rear end, it looks boring. It looks like a concept car. It just looks like the guy made it out of really, really poor boxes. I feel like he just used it like a Windows thing and was just like, what? That's a box. There's a box. There's a box. Well, the Boldie, it has more edges and curvy. It swivels and there. But this is just like, yep, we just splattered a little bit of paint on there. Beep, boop, bap, bap, bap. Boom. You get a Speedtail. Bugatti, they're way more complicated. So let's dive into some key features I realised about the Bugatti. We're going to start off with the rear. Now, when I say rear, we won't start off the rear. We're going to start off with this. The spoiler. Spoiler, whatever you want to call it, shark fin, I don't care. But you can see here I have the Jesco opened up. And I think Bugatti have copied some parts of the Jesco on the spoiler. I mean, the Jesco here, that does not look like it. Go back, no. But here, it has this really long fin, I think. They do look similar then. They kind of do. I don't have a picture of the Boldie. I may actually. Well, let's see here. I think I do. For you all. Yeah, here. If you go this way, you get a really good photo of the spoiler, fin, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it a shark tail. There you go, shark tail. Boom. Yeah, look. bright centre. We have the engine in there, beautiful carbon fibre, beautiful intakes. That blue metallic paint is just popping off. More air intakes here. I mean, quad exhaust. I mean, what can you go wrong with that? The only thing I can say I don't like is exhaust, which I just talked about. I know I talked about how beautiful it is, but does it sound good? Does it sound good? Bugatti. They've made some slight errors here and there with the previous exhaust. I mean, like, the Veyron, it sounded like a Dyson vacuum cleaner. It sounded like a vacuum cleaner. A car sounded like a vacuum cleaner brand. Whereas the Chiron, it had some girth to it, but it wasn't like your Lamborghini Aventador in your face, very like spicy and hot. It's more like they're more focused on the speed, not so much the sound, which I get, of course. But come on, you could add like I don't know how good it sounds, but that's just my preferences. I like quiet, loud. I don't know. Personally, I like a loud car, especially if you're paying $3 million for this, pounds, whatever currency. It's probably going to be around there. You want your car to sound good. You just want it to, because it looks like a literal spaceship. It does. It looks like a spaceship. Speedtail looks a bit more like a spaceship, but this is where I think the Bugatti wins on the Speedtail. Now, I don't know if Bugatti are doing some crossover with some brands here and there, but we're going to go back to the rear end. I know I'm going back to the rear end, which sounds weird because usually everyone's at the front, but I just want you to picture in your head, what does this look like? What does this shape look like to you? You may have seen it in a film, you may have seen it on a toy, you may have seen it in like on a wall, you may have seen it on a poster, you may have seen it on whatever you think you've seen it on. What do you think it is? Now, if you said something that wasn't Star Wars themed, you're wrong, because it looks like an X-Wing. I know that may sound weird and all, but it does. Here, 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 here. 1 wing, 2 wing, 3 wing, 4 wing. 1 wing, 2 wing, 3 wing, 4 wing. They're literally the same thing. Bugatti, I think they are doing some crossover here with Star Wars. It kind of looks like a frog if you squint really hard. I don't know. The exhaust looks amazing. Diffuser. Now, we didn't talk about the diffuser. Yet again, with those blue accents. Blowing up the park. That Formula 1, I think, rear headlight. And then you got these massive, long rear headlight beams, which honestly look futuristic as hell. The word Bugatti on the back, you know, check some more branding in there. You could have branding on everything. If you didn't know that, then you just did. Symmetrical wise, perfect. The grit here, I don't see this coil here on this side, because I think the camera wasn't centered. I think it was, but I don't know. I really would like to see if it is symmetrical on both sides. But that is one interesting thing to take note. If we go along the pictures again, the car looks beautiful. Is that two of them? Yet again, Bugatti loves their symmetricalness. They love it. They really do. And to be fair to them, this is what you get. A Star Wars thing. Now, I understand the Bugatti Blonde has some crazy stats and figures. So today we're going to be talking about them. Surprise, surprise. The Bugatti Blonde. One of, personally, my favourite cars that's coming out in 2021. And maybe even the future. I have no idea. But here we're going to give you some stats to you. Okay. The Bugatti Blonde is Bugatti's 8-litre W16 with upgraded turbos. This engine blows every engine out the park. It blows the Ferraris, the Lambos, the Koenigseggs, the Pagani's. All of them just got swiped and put on the big boys with 1,825 horsepower and 13,000 foot-pound of torque. You get an 8-litre W16. The car is insane. This car, 0 to 60, not as impressive as you would think. I would think it'd get sub 2 seconds, but it's just above sub 2 seconds with 2 seconds and 17 milliseconds, which isn't that slow. No, it's fast. I understand it's very quick, but compared to like a new electric car doing 1.9, like the Tesla Model S, a saloon car is beating it to doing 0 to 60, which I think that's the part Bugatti let down. Of course, they can upgrade it. It's not a car they're saying they're gonna build. Only gonna build 500. I understand. Like, it's only project car. It's only like a, what's the word? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm forgetting my grammar again. When that comes back to me, for now we're going to talk about its top speed. With 311 miles per hour plus, the car's going to go quick, of course. So the brakes, I imagine they're going to be getting really overheated. So as I was talking earlier, lots and lots of air intakes. Is the Bugatti Blonde the fastest car? Right. On the Le Mans track, whatever you want to call it, it does it in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. It does the Nürburgring in 5 minutes and 27 seconds. Now, the Nürburgring isn't the hardest track. It is quite hard, I understand that, but it isn't as hard as the Le Mans. Le Mans is probably the hardest track I've known, that I personally think is a hard track. And this car is made for Le Mans, surprisingly. Not. It is made for Le Mans. So, what does that mean? A Le Mans car is going to need a very, 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 very large fuel intake. Not fuel intake, fuel out, whatever you want to call it. A massive fuel. It's going to need a lot of places to hold fossil fuel. Now, I think it's a diesel car. I don't know if it's petrol or diesel, one of the two. So, it's going to need a lot of air to store them. And I think Bugatti have done a lot of weight saving on this, because they're going to have to. Now, Le Mans is a 24-hour race, if you didn't know. And the car gets fueled. It's not like Formula 1, where you get 52 laps. It's not fixed. You just have to complete 24 hours of Le Mans. Complete that, you're a winner. Chicken dinner, you're a winner, chicken dinner, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm talking about cars, and now I'm on about chicken. Let's just move on. But there is a downside for Bugatti. A really small gap that I think they're just going to have to cover. They cover it too much. Ferrari. If you didn't know, if you owned a Ferrari and you modded it too obnoxiously, like too crazy, just Ferrari executives don't like the car. They're legally allowed to take it from you and sue you for it. I didn't know this. I found it the other day. I searched on Google Ferrari because it came up in my news articles on my phone, and it's a bit crazy. But Lamborghini now, this is where some other brands come in. Lamborghini, they let you do whatever you want with the car. Of course, they don't let you do whatever you want. Like, you can't make it to a monster truck, but you could. I don't know, but like, you can do crazy things like bumper deletes, whatever you want with it. Ferrari, nah, not so much. But this is where we're going to talk about some gaps. Bugatti, what is going on here? This is a gold car. Why is there a gold car? What is this gold car? Why is it gold? I don't like gold. Why is it gold? I'm going to be a bit stereotypical here, but it's probably owned by a very, 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 very wealthy person that you'd see in Dubai. I see these a lot in Dubai, trending around Twitter, all of these major media platforms. I just don't like seeing them. Wrapping your car gold brings good and bad people into your media profiles. First of all, this car is going to get a lot of hate from people who love cars. Don't blame them. Oh, you wrap the car gold because, I don't know, oh, you're spoiled, you're rich, blah, blah, blah. Personally, if you like the colour gold, I don't blame you. Wrap the car gold. But don't go around sitting on your car thinking you're cool, flexing a Rolex. It's not cool. Personally, that just brings you more clout, which is true. It is true. If you want to gain more followers, that is the way. But if you want to be more sticking to your ground, sticking to your true car passion, just wrap it. Don't wrap it. Wrap it red. Wrap it a normal colour. Normal paint palette. I know car brands lately with their car colours haven't been like the best, but they certainly haven't been the worst. And I think Lamborghini do the best in paints out of everyone. They have a very good palette choice. But Bugatti, they only did a couple colours for the Veyron and Chiron. Whereas the Devo, I knew the Devo had a lot of different types of colour combinations. Holy moly, I can't speak. But I don't think the Blonde will. Now, this ties me into saying, please don't do this. If you own like any Bugatti or any car that's high performance and you wrap it gold, don't go around on Instagram saying, look at me, yeah, Rolex, Yeah, look at me. It's not cool. You're just going to get lots of hate and you're going to get really sad. It's not the way to go. So don't do it to our beloved Bugatti Blonde, because they're only going to make 500 of them, and you're going to waste the paint job by putting a gold one on it. So please don't do all that. Everyone in the car community, there's different types of car community. There's the muscle, there's the more smart people who just want to learn about how the car works and stuff. But then there's people like me who love every aspect of it. Like, we're not fixed. I like muscle cars, of course. Who doesn't like a good old Mustang? I also like high-tech cars. Who doesn't like a Tesla Model S? Whatever you want to call them. McLaren 720Ss, yeah? Or the old-fashioned, the 1969 Corvettes. All of them, they're beautiful. But one thing that is annoying in the car community, there's a group of people who are very wealthy, and they do this to their cars. Just stop. I'm going to go whining on about it for days, but I'm not, because I'm not going to waste your time today talking about which to buy, kids. If you want me to touch on this again, I can. I personally don't want to, because it's just really frustrates me. I don't like seeing this. But let's just go back to the Blonde. My personal feelings about the Blonde is you should buy it. If you have the money, buy it now. Buy it now. Go to the Bugatti's configurator. Go phone Bugatti. Be like, hey yo, I want the new Blonde. And if they say you can't, just say, just bribe them with some cash. They're only going to make 500 of them. So while they last, buy them. Trust me, in 10 years time, they would have doubled the price. Maybe even more. Yeah, if you would have bought Bitcoin in 2009, these days you'd be like a billionaire, millionaire, whatever you want to say. So if you buy this now, you could probably make double the price you bought it for, and even more. Some bad things. I don't like the Bugatti Blonde. The flag, French flag. You haven't put red that much into it. I like red cars personally. Now, if you would have made the sponsors red, I know you're going with the blue and the black, and just some little white accents here and there. I know you want to keep it nice and clean, not too many colours, vibrant colours. I know your customers, you have customers who like cars and customers who just want the Bugatti because it sounds cool. But this looks like a BMW's logo. Like, I understand that BMW do it a little bit different here, but it does look like a BMW M. Like, you know those little lines you get on the BMW, like with the fender? It looks like one of them. I hate to break it to you, but I understand that it is the French flag. But you could put it up here, maybe. Just put it. If I owned Bugatti, I would put it everywhere in the car. I understand the interior may have it, but you got to put more in the car. Koenigsegg kill it. We're saying yes, we're Swedish. They do. They made headphones for it. I saw someone unbox headphones, Beats headphones that had Swedish on them. They're everywhere. If you didn't know Bugatti was French, then you probably don't know. You're probably living under a rock. But if you don't know Koenigsegg, Swedish, then you're also living under a rock. But I personally don't like how Koenigsegg move other than Bugatti. Bugatti slowly is becoming more of a corporation because now it's in Volkswagen Group. It doesn't have much freedom as it used to be, but I just want Bugatti to be as its own brand, sustaining as it is, and not how it's controlled and manipulated into big brand deals, scams, because you're just going to go down in sales. Volkswagen Group. I don't like Volkswagens. We'll talk about that on another video, but for now we'll just keep it simple, short and sweet. I don't like Volkswagens. So this kind of ties into me not liking Bugatti as much as I could, because I like Koenigsegg so much because they're not part of any group. They're so independent and so crisp on everything. That's why I think the Koenigsegg Jesko is better than the Bugatti Blonde. I hate to say it, but I do like this Jesko way more. The Bugatti wins on looks, the Jesko wins on everything else. That's all that really matters. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of my first video talking about the Bugatti Blonde. If you want to see more, just hit that subscribe button. Also, comment down below what other videos you want me to talk about, because I'm here to listen to you guys, not me. You guys, if you like listening to me, stay tuned, hit those post notifications, and like the video. I'm going to be really weird now, so I'm going to see you later. Peace. Make sure you go buy this car before it sells. Ladies and gentlemen, see you later. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.